What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Hope things are well. And we've got more safeties to look at here. And today, this video is going to be all about the start of day 3, specifically round number 4. These are 4 safeties in this video that are projected to be about 4th round picks according to the aggregate. Not to say they will go there, not to say I think they should go there, but they're all projected in that round 4 area. So that is how we silo this video's content, and then tomorrow we move on to round 5 and beyond. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right in, starting with Billy Bowman of Oklahoma, the Sooners. 22, pretty small. Pretty darn small and very short arms, 28.5 inches. That may be untenable. 28.5 is a historical anomaly for a safety, or really most NFL players of any position. He's relatively fast. He has some decent athletic testing, but it's actually not that good given how small he is. It should be better. Like, he couldn't even vert jump 3 feet, so he's not that explosive, really. Big boards are all over the place with this guy. The aggregate has him in the 4th. That seems to be about where things land on average. If you take a look at his numbers over the last couple of years, he's a ball hawk, 8 interceptions. Decent amount of tackles as well. Coverage numbers are pretty good overall, but yeah, you just have to ask yourself, how's this going to work in the NFL? He's got great ball skills. He's got great instincts. He's got good speed and acceleration, so he's going to cover a decent amount of ground. He's got good recognition of when when it's a run play, and he becomes a run defender very quickly. He's willing to fight his way through contact to get to the football, willing to play physically. Again, I don't know how physical he's going to be able to be in the NFL. And he's got the movement skills in terms of the ability to change direction and react to what the receiver's doing to be able to hack it in man defense. But he's just small, and the short arms are probably going to be a killer. He'll never be a good tackler. It's impossible to wrap up with arms this short. And bigger receivers are going to eat him for dinner. Like, if you get a bigger receiver on this guy, like, can you imagine someone like, what's the name of the guy that the Bills drafted? The Florida State guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that guy, if Billy Bowman tried to defend him, it's over. It's all over. So he tries hard. I appreciate how hard he tries. There is some stuff here that I appreciate. The ball skills are legitimate, but he's just so limited, and I don't even know if the stuff he's good at in college are going to translate that well. So late 4th rounder, and honestly, I may end up bumping him down to the 5th round. Okay, next up we have Lathan Ransom of Ohio State, a national champion, 23 years old, about typical in terms of size, just over 6 feet, 206 pounds, short arms, 30.5, seems big, seems long compared to what we were just looking at, though. Big boards, again, another 4th rounder. Draft Network really likes him. They have him in the 2nd. Put up some good numbers over the last couple years. 9 tackles for loss last year. Pretty good for a safety. Doesn't give up a ton in coverage. Only 2 interceptions total, 4 passes defense. So not a ton of plays on the ball over the last couple years, I guess. He's a big hitter. He's an enforcer over the middle. He has a knack for forcing fumbles, actually. He's a great special teamer. So if you get this guy, at minimum, you're going to get an ace special teamer, I think. He's got a good feel for play design. He's got good instincts. He's one of those guys that can read a play, diagnose a play, and then go where he needs to go to deal with it. He's capable in coverage. He's at least going to be able to stick to tight ends in man coverage. I don't know about more than that, but I think he'll be able to cover tight ends. And he's intimidating. He's one of those guys that is just an intimidator. Teams are afraid to run routes over the middle a little bit because he's there. Teams are afraid to have receivers run across the center of the field, the kind of intermediate middle, because they know Ransom is lurking there to deliver a big hit. Now, I don't think he'll be great in coverage. I don't think he has the reactive athleticism to be truly great in coverage. He's not going to be great as a deep safety either. I think he'll be okay because he's got good instincts, but he doesn't have the range to really be a great deep safety. Like, I would never ask him to be like a single high safety or anything like that. Sometimes he goes for big hits and misses the tackle completely because of it. He's somebody who's willing to take a risk to lay a lick. His ball skills are substandard. He's pretty good at putting himself in position to make a play, but he's not great at actually making the play. You can see how low his ball production has been over the last 2 years. And he's not very fast. He doesn't have standout speed. He's not a particularly rangy guy, and that's going to just limit what we have to work with here. So he's a box safety, classic box safety, scares receivers, scares running backs. He's powerful. I just don't feel like there's much else there. I think there's more sizzle than steak here. I don't think he has range. I don't think that he has deep safety skills. I don't think he has gas in... I think he's got okay gas in coverage, but overall, I don't think he can play that split safety role and do both jobs. So I ended up going 5th round here, and that might be a little bit harsh, but I don't know. I felt like once you got past the thumping power that he can hit with, it's actually pretty darn forgettable. I don't know. I couldn't get into this one very much. I ended up putting him in that 5th round area. Okay, Jonas Sanker of Virginia, 22 years old, next guy up. Again, roughly typical size, longer arms though, 32 and a quarter. Feels like Freddy Krueger after what we've just been looking at. Big hands. Testing numbers were decent. Ran a decent 40. Ran a nice little 10-yard split. Works. Gets the job done. Big boards, mostly 4th round, and that's where the aggregate has him, of course. Has over 200 tackles over the last 2 seasons, so he's constantly involved, constantly around the ball. 9 tackles for loss last year, so he's in the backfield a lot. Makes a lot of plays on the ball, only has 1 interception, but he's got 15 pass breakups. And I got mixed feelings on that, right? Like, sometimes interceptions are a matter of luck, sometimes they're just a matter of circumstance. But he is getting targeted a pretty decent amount, though. He's gotten targeted 94 times over the last 2 years. So he's getting opportunities to bat passes away, and he's not really taking them. So some of the pros, some of the positives with Sanker, I really like the way he crashes down violently to stop the run. He really hits the box hard. He looks the part of an NFL safety. I don't think he's going to be a problem in terms of like his size. He's not going to get there and be overwhelmed. He's very effective at the catch point. He's able to make plays on the ball really well at the last second to just swat it away or tip it away or punch it out. He's really good at the catch point, that crucial point where you got to go up and make a play. He will be a good special teamer at minimum, so at least you're getting that. He's a hard hitter, and I think he has the instincts to play zone and the athleticism to play man. So you're getting somebody that has some real versatility here. Now, he's not going to be the greatest tackler. He's a hard hitter, but I think his form tackling leaves something to be desired. I think it is fixable because he does have long arms and he's pretty big. He bites hard on fakes and gets beat because of it. So misdirection, theatricality, deception can kind of fool him. He doesn't take very good angles. I think his angles need improvement. He can get stuck on blockers on his way to the ball, and he does watch the backfield sometimes and end up paying for it. So there's issues here. They're mostly fixable, though. So I like Sanker. I think he'll be able to maintain different roles in the NFL. I think he'll be able to do a few different things. I think that he will be able to do split safety stuff. Maybe there's even some nickel corner stuff here. Maybe a big nickel kind of. And I think with experience, most of his issues can be ironed out. So I actually elevated him to my 3rd round. I'd say 3rd round, figure it out. This guy has some real skills. I think he could become a starter, but even if he's just a good backup, he's going to be very valuable as a backup. That versatility and special teams value is going to go a long way. So I like Sanker a lot. Okay, my final guy for this video is going to be Jaylen Reed, the other Penn State safety. This one's not as prolific, but he did actually finish the season last year. 22. He's got about average height, but he's very heavy for a safety, 211 pounds. Short arms, though, another short-armed guy. Tested fairly decently. Sub 4.5 40, just barely. 1.5 10-yard split. Big boards, we got a 3rd, we got a 4th, we got a 5th. Aggregate puts him in the 4th. Almost 100 tackles last year. 3 interceptions, 7 tackles in the backfield. So, productive year. Coverage numbers were a little bit rough, but I don't know how much to read into that. That's really hard to pull apart and judge too much from. His PFF grade was not very good, though. That is worth noting here. They I'm not saying PFF always gets it right, but it's worth noting that despite his big numbers, they didn't think he was good on a snap-to-snap basis. He's really good reading routes when he's the deep safety. He makes great reads. He was mostly the free safety on Penn State, I believe, and he did a good job protecting deep. He's a capable run defender who can like kind of work his way through blockers, and he's willing to play with physicality. So those are the things that I like about Jaylen Reed. There are some clear positives here. I think that he is at the very least capable theoretically of being a dual threat safety, someone who can play back or play up, and it's fine. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't react on his reads correctly. Sometimes I feel like he makes a good read and then puts himself in a bad position anyway. He's not very rangy. I don't think he covers as much ground as he needs to. So while there are some good instinctual elements to football here, I don't think he's actually capable of being a single high safety. I don't think he's actually capable of being a last line of defense center fielder. He's over aggressive, and that can come back to bite him sometimes. And he's not going to do very good in man. I don't think he has the reactive athleticism to be good in man. So I think he'd be a great backup. He's just good enough to be capable of being a box safety or a deep safety or a center fielder safety or a robber or whatever. But I don't think he's got quite enough to actually be good at it. So it's like just good enough to hang around, but not good enough to start. So I'll go early 5th rounder. It's just kind of a low ceiling, but I think that he'll find a role in the NFL. So yeah, Jaylen Reed, decent. I'd go early 5th round. Little bit cold on his potential to become like a starter. Okay, that's it for this video. More videos tomorrow. Maybe another video later today. I'm not sure, but see you guys later. Go Hawks. Everyone have a great day. And those are some round 4 safeties.